minutes past the hour. Darrelle Revis is leading the Super Bowl chants, the Patriots, and he's going back to the Jets. Now, what does he get for doing that? Well, among other things, a big paycheck. Brian has more on that. Good morning.
Good morning, Robbie. Yeah, huge paycheck. Setting records here. What a crazy start to the NFL's free agency period.
Hey, at least it's not superstitious about, gotta wear this, I won't play as well. You know, a woman in New Jersey who has cerebral palsy is using stand-up comedy. She hopes to educate the world about her condition. Now, Dr. Sanjay Gupta has her story in today's Human Factor. Thanks again to Dr. Sanjay Gupta for that story. You know, witnesses thought maybe they were cooking out on the boat. Barbecue. No, it was a fire and they had to abandon ship. Believe it or not already, since a 9.0 magnitude quake caused a massive tsunami there. It was the largest quake ever to hit Japan, and more than 15,000 people died. Knockoffs of the Apple Watch are already hitting the market in China. The real thing doesn't go on sale for like another month. Now the price of the fakes is what gives it away. They're charging like $80 in China, whereas the real deal will start at $350. An old video has now emerged of Sigma Alpha Epsilon's former house mom at the University of Oklahoma repeatedly using a racial slur. Now that's the same frat where the members were recorded singing a racist chant. CNN's Miguel Marquez says that the former house mom is insisting the video that she was in was taken out of context.
The fraternity's house mother votes on Gilboa, now also stirring anger after this video from 2013 surfaced in which she repeatedly sings the N-word. Gilboa has now responded to the video, saying, "I am heartbroken by the portrayal that I am in some way racist," claiming the video is being taken out of context, and she was innocently singing along to the Trinidad James song, "All Gold, Everything." Before the video featuring her went viral, though, Gilboa told CBS News her fraternity family was not racist, and she was shocked to hear them use the N-word.
I heard the words. Unbelievable. This is not SAE.
Well, the head of SAE calls her behavior unacceptable. But two African Americans who were once members of the chapter say the woman that they knew as Mom B is not a racist and that they forgive her. Nearly a dozen civil liberties groups say that internet spying by the NSA is illegal, so they filed a lawsuit to stop the NSA practice of tapping into hardware that tracks internet traffic. So the practice often might be called upstream surveillance. The ACLU says it's unconstitutional, but the administration says it is protected by a 2008 surveillance law. You know, a dad in Connecticut who's accused of killing his son by leaving him in a hot car could go to prison for a year. Kyle Seitz entered something known as an Alford plea, meaning he doesn't have to admit that he's guilty, but agrees that prosecutors have enough evidence to convict him. A reporter in South Africa was mugged on camera, waiting to deliver his live report, and the attackers were walking right there, back and forth in front of the camera. Take a look. Okay, sorry.
Hey, we're being mugged. We're being mugged.
Wow. Now the reporter and his crew is okay, but so far nobody's been arrested, even though you see folks on camera. Marriott will soon be the first major hotel chain to accept Apple Pay. The company says you're going to be able to pay with your iPhone at 11 of their hotels in 6 major cities, including Chicago, D.C., San Fran, beginning this summer. Marriott's not saying when Apple Pay is going to be available in its other 4,000 hotels. Thick fog caused 6 semis and 3 cars to crash into each other on a highway in Indiana today. Now, it was one of several crashes already in the northwest part of that state. At least 2 people died. State troopers say high speeds may have also contributed to some of the accidents. Now, I think we're going to have fog as a problem in many areas because the ground is so cool from the winter, and here comes the heated air. Good morning, PJ and Bob.
Good morning, Robbie. You're the
Ashton Kutcher thinks that more men's restrooms need the diaper changing table. So we've noticed this trending, and Melissa Knowles has more on that from the Daily Share. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Robin. Yeah, so
Put in your cereal might have something extra. The FDA says it's because some of the farmers are using unapproved drugs on their cows. And so a pregnant model feels like she's facing some backlash after posting some pictures of herself at 8 months pregnant. Her name is Sarah Stage, and she is 8 months pregnant in this picture. Now, she regularly does share pictures with her more than 1 million Instagram followers. But about this picture, some folks are saying that she's too small for 8 months pregnant. So many people come to her defense, while others are saying, are you okay?
Yeah, and the other, is baby okay?
Yeah.
Those that are like questioning, wondering, where's baby in the midst of this? Are you eating enough and things like that? But what we're finding out, if doctor says you're healthy, then she's all right, because this is a model, as you point out, and she's documented basically her whole pregnancy on Instagram. She was in insane shape to start with before she got pregnant.
I bet.
And she still works out a couple of times a week. But so how is she taking all this in? I mean, on her end, hey, I'm pregnant, I'm pretty healthy. So she was on Good Morning America. Here's what she had to say.
I just don't know how someone could say that to a pregnant woman. My baby's healthy and we're happy. But at the same time, a lot of women have been very supportive. As long as the baby's healthy, I really don't think that anything else matters. So if you gain 60 pounds, 20 pounds, 80 pounds, as long as you're healthy and your baby's healthy, that's all that matters.
And that's becoming the prevalent sentiment. You wonder, okay, how much weight has she gained? She says she's gained 20 pounds, and baby is measuring at about 5 pounds. Baby's due in April. So with that said, maybe another month to go, baby probably will be in that 7-pound range.
And she said her doctor says, no, everything's good.
Yeah, so all's well. But here's what folks are saying about it. And again, I think there was initial backlash. People see that, and you like do the double take. She's only 8 months pregnant. But now here, like Ashley, one of our viewers, says, leave her alone. That's pretty much exactly what I look like with all 3 of my kids, and they are perfectly healthy. We all have different bodies.
What about the people who are saying, well, why are you posting pictures of yourself if you don't want comments anyway when you're 8 months pregnant?
There you go. Now, let's see what she had to say. Katie says, it doesn't look like the baby has room, but it's her choice. I guess we'll know if it's harmful to the baby or not when the baby is born. And Betty says, as long as it's healthy, and, she's just beautiful, basically. So I think more people, as this goes on, are kind of heading to her camp on this one.
It seems like it. And she has 1 million followers, and so wanted to share with them how she's doing through her pictures. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. So a dramatic rescue from a burning boat was caught on tape in San Francisco Bay. At first, people thought, hey, are they cooking lunch? Is there a barbecue? Hey, could contain illegal antibiotics. Milk's not supposed to have any antibiotics. The FDA says it found some, though, in about 1% of the milk that it tested. But none of the antibiotics found were even approved for use in cows. The FDA says that some farmers may use unapproved drugs to try to get around the testing that would detect cow antibiotics. For the first time ever, an Ivy League basketball team is undefeated in the regular season. It's Princeton. It's the female hoops team, and they've pulled off this amazing feat. Good morning.
Good morning, Robin. Yeah, the female hoops.
She did it for convenience, but Republicans say they're not buying the explanation about the scandal about her personal email account. I check 51 minutes past the hour. The widow of American sniper Chris Kyle is going to release a memoir. Taya Kyle is going to share her journey as a military wife, the couple's love story, and about the day that her husband was killed. She did take the stand against her husband's killer, Eddie Ray Routh, who was convicted last month. The book, American Wife, a memoir of love, war, faith, and renewal, comes out in May. This is astounding. The maker of children's Tylenol pleaded guilty to selling baby medicine that had metal particles in it. So the issue was apparently known for about a year before the products were pulled. Now, Jen notes nobody was injured, but my word, good morning.
I mean, I can only guess that they thought they were so small it couldn't hurt children, but still. Johnson & Johnson owns McNeil, and it pleaded guilty to selling contaminated medicine with these visible black specks of metal that didn't get recalled until a parent pointed them out. Now, these were in Tylenol and Motrin for both babies and children, the kind you buy right at the drugstore, over the counter at the grocery store. Now, again, nobody was hurt, but McNeil is fined $25 million also for other contamination investigation when the FDA went and investigated the plant. By the way, it was closed and didn't open since then. The company says they now have better quality and oversight standards now. And some changes happening over at Uber. Let's see if that addresses what's called the trust issue that Uber has had. Uber, of course, is the ride-sharing service. The company says they hope to hire 1 million, though maybe for women as riders, because maybe it means in the future, if they have enough women drivers, you'd be able to click, you'd feel safer with a woman driver or something like that. They have been criticized, of course, for not doing enough to vet drivers and not being responsive to complaints of harassment from some of their passengers.
Good, thank you. Now, we don't know yet if MTV's managed to get certified a new record for its Beyonce-thon. They tried to create the world's longest dance marathon relay at their studio in Times Square. So Guinness would still have to certify the results, but here's the deal. They were just having people, come up and dance to Beyonce music. Now they're spending the entire week apparently trying to set different records. Today the challenge is how many times can somebody say meow in 1 minute? And I think that's because something about Grumpy Cat possibly co-hosting. With the kitty thigh. With the kitty thigh. Huh?
We gotta try that off camera.
Yeah, you're right. A family's home that was severely damaged in a fiery explosion had the words, "My wife's a cheater," spray painted across it a couple of times. Now, this is outside of Denver. Nobody was injured in that fire. Now, police suspect arson. A 31-year-old man's arrested, and the Denver Post reports that the suspect's wife had filed for divorce and that was granted last year. One of the frat members expelled over a racist chant on a bus says that he's gotten so many threats his family can't go home.
You pay your auto insurance premium.
The Lifetime show Kosher Soul follows the journey of a Jewish fashion stylist and an African-American comedian. And the Daily Share's Roxy Diaz talks with them about the challenge of blending their lives, their careers, and their cultures.
We're just from two totally different places. There's a lot of opposites. Interracial, interfaith. You got soul food, kosher food. I didn't even know what the word kosher meant. It was like, if it's a pig, let's eat it.
How hard was it for you to convert into this lifestyle?
It was very hard because I love bacon. I need you to learn how to fry some catfish.
It's not kosher.
Outside of the wedding, our family would never hang out.
She's Jewish and O'Neill's not, right? No, O'Neill's black.
But at first, it wasn't easy. She had to get into her comfort zone, and I was like, either I'm going to pitch this as a docuseries or a sitcom. The fact that I'm wearing a yarmulke, it shouldn't be a problem for Miriam to wear grills.
All right, so what has been the reaction from family, seeing you guys on air? What's your mom been saying about the show?
She literally is the biggest PR person. She's so excited. She was very tentative at first. And now that she has seen it unfold, she's so ecstatic.
Yeah, especially the message. I want to be informative, but I want to be entertaining. I don't want you to feel like you're being preached to. I want you to feel like, wow, I just laughed my ass off and learned something at the same time.
Thank you so much for letting us start your day. I'm Robin Meade. Up next is the Daily Share.